I'm Katie Clancy, Chief House Hawker for the Cape House at William Ravis.
And I'm Sarah Lapsley Martin of Team Martin Lapsley at Killing Grove Real Estate. And this is What's Good Cape Cod, where we show you the Cape through the eyes of a couple of locals.
Every episode, we tell you about a person, a place, and a thing we think you should know about.
So this week, we're excited to talk about a local parenting guru, the rebirth of a Dennisport seaside venue, and a place that's bringing arts and entertainment back to life during the pandemic.
Woohoo! I'm so excited about all three of these. These are all very diverse and very cool, fun things. Cool, fun? I don't know. So the first one is a person, Cindy Horgan, who is like my parenting muse guru. So she is the family support coordinator for the Cape Cod Children's Place. So I don't know about you, Sarah, but when I walked out of the hospital with this completely vulnerable, very fragile thing that I had to keep alive, educate, keep healthy, I was like, you have picked the wrong person. I don't know what I'm doing. This is
what
wrong.
Do we do now?
What happens now?
Instructions.
I've read all the books, but I still am like, but it's 2 a.m. and I knew what happened, but this is really, really hard.
Yes,
so
agreed.
Cindy Horgan feels our pain, felt our pain, knows the pain. And so when I was a younger mom, I took a class with her because I'm like, you don't know how to do this. This is not something you're taught. You watch your parents. I had fantastic parents, loved them, but there's a lot of things I couldn't solve on my own. So I would go to these classes. She gave us a great book to read. By the way, hopefully it's still relevant. It was called Kids, Parents, and Power Struggles.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure it's still relevant. Yeah.
I think it is. Well, because you're talking about like it has you like go through what kind of person are you? What kind of person is your kid? Where will you predictably have trouble? And where are the opportunities for you to connect? And also with your partner, like, how will he or she maybe connect in another way? It gave me such insight, but also going into those classes with Cindy. And first of all, knowing that you're not the only one having this problem. Like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. I'm the worst mom. You can't believe what I did. She's like, yes, I can. And she's like,
there's a community. Everyone feels like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, I had kind of lost touch with Cindy for a while because, I got through the, I don't know, I kept them all alive. They're all still here. I've got 4 now from 13 to 26 and they're
all wonderful.
Yes.
Not just alive. They're all wonderful and thriving.
They seem okay. But she just sort of crossed my radar again because with the pandemic, obviously parents have been stuck inside with their young children and it's hard. It's harder than it's ever been. The challenges of work, school, all this stuff that we don't need to repeat. So what Cindy's been doing is Facebook Live, like Q&As about parenting, or she'll pick a topic and she'll talk about that, but then people can like message her in real time and be like, please, can you say that thing about potty training? And I feel like we're never going to get there. And, and she answers.
That's awesome that she's really connecting and letting people ask questions. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Like I sat there and watched it. It was like, wow, what an opportunity. What such a resource. It's free. Agreed. You just tune in and they're also, since it's a Facebook Live, it's recorded, then you can go back and chances are whatever question you have, somebody else probably asked.
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah. She's like calm and she's great too, because she'll tell us these horror stories from her own kids because kids, this is what happens.
Makes you feel a little better.
Oh, it makes you feel so much better if the expert has also been through all this or made mistakes or whatever. And so she's wonderful. And the Cape Cod Children's Place is an incredible resource for parents around here too. So I highly recommend that you find them really everywhere. Like I said, you can find them on Facebook and you can find them just at their website. And the resources go far beyond the education, the parent education stuff. So I highly recommend that any parents, even if you're like, no, I got this figured out, you don't. You do not have it figured out. You can do it better, I promise. And Cindy will help you. So there. So that's our person. So our place this week, it's one that both you and I adore. and have a really cool story about it. So it's the place is the Pelham House. And I think you should start because you did something very special at the Pelham House.
So I love the Pelham House. I got married there, so it definitely holds a special place in my heart. Anyone that knows John McCarthy, or if you follow the Pelham House on Instagram, John McCarthy has his slogan, his saying is "Let's go," and he's someone that really has a passion and loves the Pelham House, which I just love to see someone that's so passionate about their work and their job. And
you know what? I'm going to stop you there for a second. This is like advice for everybody.
Yeah.
If you're going to pay somebody to do something, whether it's give you food, work on your teeth, mow your lawn, you want to find someone who nerds out about it, like John McCarthy nerds out.
And that's what he's doing.
About Pelham.
He really is. Yeah. You got to follow him on Instagram. And anyone out there who doesn't, he's awesome. And his "Let's Go," you'll see it everywhere, all over it.
And go, they certainly did go. I cannot believe what's happened over there.
So for everyone that doesn't know, so the Pelham House has been around for a long time. So late 90s, we'll go start there. Late 90s, John's dad, Bob McCarthy, actually came to the Cape, brought his whole family, and bought the Pelham House. So that's really when he started expanding it into a wedding venue. So Bob and his family, they ran it for about 10 or so years, and then they sold it. When they sold it, John actually stayed on as the manager. So he was still very involved with the Pelham House. So that was in about 2007, they sold it. Fast forward to 2018, and John actually, in partnership, he has some partners, Dennis Leary and Frank Hersey, they actually bought the Pelham House back. So I just think that's really cool, that John and his dad really, worked together, ran this. John stayed on as manager, and now he was able to buy it back,
and how smart of those guys to have John in as a partner. You've got that legacy.
He really has the love for the Pelham House and wants to see it succeed, and has for years.
Yeah.
So great partner to have. The construction project over there is massive. It's a $5.5 million renovation. So anyone who hasn't seen it, so it's like a horseshoe type hotel that's set up with a pool in the middle, and then green grass. And there used to be like a little house with 8 rooms, which is where my bridesmaid stayed. So that house is now gone. They've renovated the whole hotel. They renovated the pool. And there's this new structure that is an indoor and outdoor wedding venue, rooftop bar.
It's so awesome.
We're just there recently too.
Like you go in, like you get dropped, you drop your car off at the valet, and you walk in to the lobby, and it's 2 stories, and the light fixtures are beautiful sculptures, and it's just you do not feel like you're in. With all due respect, I do not feel like I'm in Dennisport when I'm there.
It's a wow when you walk in.
It is. It feels like I'm actually in the city, but then you look out and you're like, that's Nantucket Sound. And it's just water.
It's a stunning. They're right on the beach. So they have the pool, and when you're in the pool, you see the beach. I mean, it's a stunning. And when I got married there, I actually got married on the beach, and then we had our reception up on the grass area. This year, obviously, weddings weren't really happening there, but looking forward, they will be having weddings there. And I can only imagine how beautiful it's going to be. And having the option now that you can get married any time of the year, because they have an indoor, all glass, so you can see the ocean, but yet be inside for your wedding. So you could get married in the winter and not be cold and still have that gorgeous view.
I think that is so brilliant of them. That is a game changer. Is there even a venue like that down this end of the Cape?
Not at this end of the Cape, not a year round, not many. So they're really honing in on that. And it was awesome for us locals this summer. I know they couldn't have their big weddings, but I spent a lot of time there. So around the pool area, they had tables set up. And there's fire pits. So we went there. They have live music almost every day around the pool. It was just such a cool vibe, and to be able to enjoy it and go back. And then I guess it was just a few months ago, they opened the rooftop bar. So
the rooftop is unbelievable. Yeah. So I've been on the rooftop a couple of times in 2 completely different experiences. One, I actually had a business dinner, and the person who was it's whatever, they made the reservation, and it started to pour like an hour before we were due to go to dinner. I'm like, what do we do? Because I'm like, are they going to change the reservation? Are we going to be okay? Absolutely no problem. They just shut the windows.
Oh.
We were now in an enclosed space with a fireplace and still the ocean right out there. Like the weather was not an issue at all. So we had still had this beautiful rooftop experience in spite of the weather. So they thought of everything.
Yeah. And delicious food.
Oh my God. So good. The scallops. And
I had the scallops when I was there too.
Did you? The burrata? Did you have the burrata? And this right now in the fall, they've got like a squash thing happening with them, like winter squash. Oh, so good.
I had a delicious paloma there. A great bar.
I had 2 delicious palomas there.
We're on the same page here. Like, that's hilarious. The scallops and the paloma. That's what we recommend.
Yes, that is definitely highly recommended.
Yeah. And it's such a fun atmosphere. And, John's there a lot. So like you can actually go in, meet John, tell him, let's go. And it's a really great addition to the Cape.
Yeah. I'm excited to see, where things are. There's a little buzz about other things that might be happening there that are not fit for public consumption yet, but keep an eye on the Pelham House. And also I do, we both do business in Dennisport sometimes. I think it's actually listen, property values are going up anyway because of the pandemic, but I think it is actually helping property values around that C Street area as if they didn't need it already. I think it's going to help it even more because that's just, if you can walk, because, we do business in Dennisport, people are like, oh, I want to be able to walk to the Ocean House. I want to be able to walk to this place or that. If you like houses in the C Street area, you can walk to Pelham and you can walk to Sunday school. Like,
right.
What else do you need? And the beach,
and the beach, of course.
Right? It's pretty awesome. So we are huge Pelham fans, and that is another candidate for us to do an on location. I think it's very important that we go there.
Agreed.
And try that Paloma that we've heard about.
Yes, only heard about.
One time, twice, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's our place. Okay. Oh, and the thing, Sarah, is a super fun thing that I'm really happy about. And this is somewhere that I'm like, I'll go. I haven't been there yet. What is
you got to go. So our thing is the Yarmouth Drive In. I've been multiple times. I love it. It's just such an awesome thing to come out of the pandemic.
But it's not just movies.
No. And so it's everything. So anyone who knows Marty and I, we love live music. We love going to concerts, but unfortunately everything for the year was, all of our concerts were either canceled or postponed due to the pandemic. So that's a lot of what we do during the summer and we look forward to it. So to be able to have a concert experience at the drive-in has really, gotten us to see our live music that we love so much. And the drive-in was actually a drive-in. So let's see, 30 years ago, I think it was like in the late 50s, it operated as a drive-in until the mid 80s. So it was a drive-in and, then the town used it for, the St. Patrick's Day Parade has an event there. So it's been used not much over the last years. So I think it's really cool that it was a drive-in. Now it's back to its roots. It's turning back into the drive-in.
But they've
other than the fact that
reimagined the concept.
Yeah, now there's like high-tech LED screens. So I mean, it's a powerful thing when you're there. And so they originally announced like back in June that they had concerts and movies booked through Labor Day, but I just got an email of more shows. So it seems like they're at least scheduled to the end of October. We'll see what happens.
It sounds like they're going to stay open until they can't stay open anymore.
That's what I think.
The thing that just makes me so happy about it is arts and entertainment on the Cape. Arts and entertainment has taken, I think, the biggest hit in the pandemic.
Agreed.
Because this is where people congregate, and you underestimate how important it is to experience live music. I heard something live. I forget what it was. Oh, I was invited to a private Highness Sound concert. They started singing and I got choked up. Yeah. And I was like, I forgot what this feels like live music, live entertainment. And they have comedians there too.
Yeah. They have, so they do the movies. I think the movies might be ended, but they did the movies. They have concerts. Then they have comedians. They also have, I just saw that girl's name, Darcy Lynn, who was on America's Got Talent. She's a ventriloquist.
She's been to the Melody Tent before.
Yeah, so she's coming. I think that's towards the end of October. But it's really cool. So when you go, people, have asked me how is it there? So they're kind of set up like a vehicle suite is what they call it. So you have a square you park your car on one side, then you have a space about the size of your car on the other side that you can put chairs or you could use for dancing, whatever you want. And then the next car is parked, there's ropes. So it's all roped off. So you really are, you're at least 10 feet between vehicles. And you've got your own little space. So you wear your masks, they're diligent on that, which is good. But you really have your own little space. Then they have food trucks there. So it's all, you go on your phone, you order from your phone, and then they text you to go pick it up. So it's really a no contact thing, which is great. So they're really taking all the precautions. And it really, so the first concert I saw Grace Potter, who's amazing. I've seen her many, many times, and we got there early and we got front row, which I thought was really cool. So she's right there. But it's so interesting because she's playing, but she doesn't have speakers. So it's all through your car stereo.
Oh, it's all through the car. So there's no amplification.
No.
And it's like, I was wondering about that because neighbors with sound, that would be tough.
So it's all through the car. We brought, which you're allowed, you can bring we brought an extra speaker and we put it on top of our car because we wanted a little more noise. Not that loud, but it was such a different experience, like seeing her there. And it was also cool because she's up there, she's talking to the crowd. She was like, what does everyone want to hear? And she was like taking requests from the crowd. So it was really just a special experience that I've seen her so many times, but we never had that kind of experience.
It was an even more intimate experience as
really
far, like you had everybody quote separated in distance, but in a way it was sort of intimate.
Yeah, more interactive. And she's got, next to the stage, there's 2 big screens, but then farther back, there's another screen. So even if you're farther back, you've got the screen. So you don't feel that you're like way in the back. The screens are, they're amazing. They're like very high tech screens. When we saw another band called Pink Talking Fish, and it's like a Pink Floyd Talking Heads Fish band. And we were more towards the back, and it was a great show. That was a little more like light show and dancing and just a really cool, fun experience to be. And like you said, you miss the community of just seeing this music and bands together. So it was just great to get everyone together. And even though you can't really, hang out with your friends, everyone's still there enjoying and listening to the music.
Well, you hang out with whoever's in your car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome. And huge kudos to them. This has been, as I think both you and I are both looking for all the good things that have come out of really. Yeah.
And I hope that I don't know what their plans are. I hope that, it's available next year because I think it's great to have the drive-in there. Everyone loves the Wellfleet drive-in for movies. Yeah. But for me, it's a little bit of a hike, especially if I was bringing my daughter who's 2.5, it's a Wellfleet. It's a hike for me. So having this mid-Cape option is wonderful. Yeah. And I'll give a shout out. Falmouth is doing wonderful things as well. I haven't been to the Falmouth Drive-In, but to have an option down there at the fairgrounds is amazing. And they're doing movies and concerts too.
Yeah. I'm very impressed with all those. There's been a few different pop-up movie, drive-in venues, which has been a great in all this. Yeah. Yeah, life's going to be okay. I think life is going to be okay. I'm really happy with the way people, listen, we had a lot of bad things going on. We had a lot of really cool things going on, and the resourcefulness of people the Yarmouth Drive In folks is really awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, that's what we have for this episode. If you want to reach either one of us, you can find me at thecapehouseteam.com.
And you can find me on Instagram at Cape Cod Properties or on Facebook at T. Martin Lapsley.
So now you know what's good Cape Cod in this episode. Keep following us, and before long, you'll know Cape Cod like we know Cape Cod.